Okay, a quick walkthrough in terms of how forums work and grading with forums. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down to where I've put a forum in, and I put it in my Chapter 9 section. Right here, I added this as an assignment, and I'll just go back through the settings that I put in when I first added the assignment and explain them really quickly. I don't care if there's any attachments for this. I'd prefer there weren't, but I do want it to display the word count as the students go through it. That way they'll know how many they have, and I've told them, I'm expecting X number of words per entry here. Subscriptions will allow them to be notified by email if other people post and all. I'm not going to do this because it seems like it might be a little bit cumbersome or unwanted as it went on. Discussion locking, I can have it automatically lock after a period of time when no one's interacting, but I'll just leave that undone. Post threshold for blocking. This indicates after a period of time it will block after 1 or 2 days and whatnot. I can also have it block if they are putting too many things in there, and a threshold for too many entries. Turn it in is not going to be necessary because this is a colloquial assignment. The grade, I would like this to be in the category of forums. I would like them to pass if they get a 3 out of a scale of 5, which I'm about to set. Outcomes, I don't have that any set for this. Ratings, now this is crucial. This is the most important part of this for the grade, is I'm going to say there is a, if they put in several items here, the discussions had quite a few entries, then what I want to do is make sure that I use the average. Maybe I'll just use their highest score out of all the discussion points. It turns out I've used sum of ratings here. It's telling me I can't change this because I've already had students enter points, but I get that. Now, this point here where it says maximum grade, there's going to be a drop down as the instructor when I go there, and every single one of these entries, I can give it a score, through the little drop down, and I'll show you that works in a minute. And then over here, I can, from the from and to area for when I expect this to be open. And what is it when it's complete? Well, it's complete. I can say that I would like the school, I require them to have a grade. I have already opened this, so I can't change that, but I could require a grade now that there's a grade set up for this. And then I've enabled it, and this is my completion tracking, same as per usual. I'll come up here and hit save and return to course. Now I'll go to my student. Okay, and now as a student, I'll come down here and I'll open this forum up, and I will go to it, and I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to post it. Now the student has done all that, and then as the student, I'll climb back out. Okay, now I'll come back over here as an instructor, and I will go to Chapter 9, and I'll go down to my forum. And if I click in there, I'll have a different interface than the student does, obviously, because for mine, I'll have the ability to rate these. And I've already been playing with this, so you'll see some of them are already in there. But I'll say, I think this is a 3. I think this is a 5 and a 2, and so on. So you see I've gone through these, and all the ones that I haven't done yet will still show up there. Now this is a fair amount of work if you've got a large class. But I see I've done all those, and then they're already in. Now those have been graded. So now if I come back out of that, then I'll see first of all that this, I put it in the category of forums, so I'm seeing it there, and I'm saying that the maximum grade is a 5, and that'll give them 100%. Now as I put more in here, and if everything says 100%, it will sort this out itself. But the weight of forums is still 20% of the total grade. Okay, so I'll come out of here to view, and I'll scroll down to Gary Grayson that we just did, and you'll see his score is a 5. We're giving him the highest score for this forum, and right now his average for forums is 100%. So that's what there is to that. Now, the other question is, what if you don't want to have to do that? But we're still basically at an impasse when it comes to forums and having people post and then getting sort of a participation score. That doesn't seem to be possible. Now we can do a workaround a couple of different ways. If we wanted to use the grading function on there and we just say just use the highest grade when it comes to time for choices, and you make it say 5, then what you would do is you'd be able to go through and just give everyone a 5. Now if the highest grade is 1, then that's easier still because 1 is going to be 100%. while as not participating is going to be 0. So you could do that in terms of how they're weighted. There's some logic in that. But I would think that combining both that method of grading, well, you would still have to go through the posts at some level. And, with a small class, this is easy. With a large class, I mean, it's more difficult. But you can go through and you can give someone a score of 1, and then it'll only use the highest score. And if that's the one you gave them, then they get the participation score. So that's one feature. Secondly, you can combine that with the completion tool, so that everyone has to say have 3 posts or they can't move on, and that would basically take care of both. You get people doing as much as they need to, and the grade book has a score, and the score would be 100%, not the number 1. So I think that's a logical workaround. Okay, and we'll close with this. We'll open up the grade book, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a grade, and for a forum grade, and make this as rapid as possible. So I open the grade book, then I go to the bottom of that, and you'll see I have the option to add a grade item. And I'm just going to pop through this real fast. And so I put in the item name. I'm going to use the grade type as value. I'm going to say my maximum grade that is going to be given is 5 in this case, and that'll be 100% because that's what I'm doing. I want this to mirror what I'm doing on the actual forum itself. None of this is crucial, but I'm going to make sure that this is in forums, and then I hit save changes. So here is the piece that I just entered, and I'm going to have the weight. Now bear in mind the weight isn't the grade. The weight is how this is going to be counted against other items in this same folder, and it's going to be 100, but the maximum grade is 5 as I've set it. Now what I can do is I can actually go to this, and then what I can do is bulk insert that everyone gets that score up front. Continue. Now I'm going to go up here to view at the top, and I'm going to go to single view, and I'm going to select a grade item. Now bear in mind I'm in view, single view, okay? Then I go to grade item, and I'm going to choose the second one I made. I happen to know this is called influence. Okay, so if I go to this, you can see I'm looking at all the grades for this single assignment. The assignment is Forum Chaucer Influence, and there's all my students. Now if I have a whole bunch of students, this is pretty straightforward. All I have to do is come up here, and I'm going to say perform bulk insert. Now if I have 100 students, this is going to go pretty speedy. I'm going to assume that I'm just going to have a few that need to get a 0, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bulk enter 5. And 5 I know is my maximum score, and that's what I want students to have. And then I hit continue. And now what I can do for this, if maybe a couple of these students actually didn't participate, I can just do 0 and 0. And how do I know that they didn't participate? Well, I know that they didn't participate because I went to my report for completion tracking and I saw that. So there's one more workaround that you can consider for this particular task you're looking at. I hope I haven't taken up too much of your time. Thanks so much.